Hello everyone, it's Mr. Fall for a new marathon commentary video, this time on Simona's Requiem, a game I've picked up a few months ago and I absolutely love it, either casually or in speedrunning. I'm the first person to ever speedrun this game and I hope doing this marathon commentary and maybe uh, bringing it to a marathon will be able to bring new runners to this game because I would love to develop this speedrun more. Um, so I'm not gonna talk too much for the intro because I will have some room to explain things already during the run. I'm gonna erase this file and I'm gonna start as soon as I will press new game. So 3, 2, 1, and go. So first, I'm gonna explain the beginning of the lore of the game. There is this character here, the boss. We don't know what it is, to be honest, but uh, it gives a job to Simona, the main character of the game, uh, which is to bring the soul of the Kingfisher, and this is basically your last chance to have a redemption, or you will be punished for that. So basically, this is our mission, getting the soul of the Kingfisher that we'll see at the end of the game. This game is a Metroidvania. It has very little RPG elements. You can gain some levels, but basically it will only give you more HP, so that's very minimal. This game is actually, like the title can tell you, it's mainly inspired by Simon's Quest, Castlevania II Simon's Quest, which is pretty rare, to be honest. And this explains why, compared to a lot of Metroidvanias, this game is pretty slow pace, at least at the beginning. So you will have an upgrade at some point that will make the game more fast paced, but for now, this is the maximum speed I can reach. And also, another thing that is inspired by Simon's Quest, the platforming section can be pretty tricky. So we will have to explore 3 dungeons to get 3 items to get to the castle at the end. This village is basically an optional part. You can talk to the residents, you can talk to the cats also, which is pretty cute. But we are not gonna get here at all. We are not gonna take care of this. The main attack I'm gonna use during the run when I will be able to is the aerial um, attacks because it's much faster to attack with this combo than the grounded combo. Oops, I did a mistake. I have an issue with my controller, so it might be a little bit annoying to do this aerial combo sometimes. I have to do it differently than what I was used to before. I couldn't do it here, for instance, but this is basically what you have to do most of the time. Here we are gonna meet a very important character, but we won't talk to him, which is pretty funny. This is a guide, and he's supposed to give you the map of the game, but we won't need it. Actually, we don't need the map to complete the game, and I realized it when I run the game. So not talking to him is actually a free time save. You can teleport to any point of the map at some point. I'm gonna explain this when it will come, but you don't even need the map, so that's funny. This part is pretty annoying because those enemies, they can go back to movement pretty fast, so I have to do an aerial attack on them. They will be protected, and then I'm gonna have to do a jump. Okay, this is already a bit annoying. There we go. I'm gonna take a hit here. I'm gonna take, no, not here, to here. Okay, did this jump first try. Some jumps are very, very tricky to do. I'm not even kidding. And you will see on the first room of this dungeon, which is the crypt. This room is, I'm not even joking, one of the hardest in the game. Just for one jump you will see pretty soon. By the way, the red orbs are giving you some health back, and if you see some very little sparkling yellow things, they are basically EXP. So I'm gonna gain some level sometime like here, but we are not grading levels in this speedrun because it's basically not required to do it. I think the maximum level I can get in a good run with no major mistakes, it's level 4 if I'm not mistaken. Level 3 at worst. Getting some levels can be cool though for some bosses if you want to be safe, because you will get more HP as I said. So this is the tricky part I was talking about. There is one jump I can fail a lot of time because the timing is really tricky. I'm gonna take my time and just do it on a second cycle. First try, let's go. This jump, seriously, I have to do a precise setup to do it on first try or I will fail it every time. And just to troll you, above you will be able to get the first upgrade of the game, which is a double jump. It would have been great to get it before, but for some reason they are giving it after the tricky part. But whatever, at least it went well. It's here. There are 4 upgrades in the game, but you will only see 3 of them because you can collect the main ones in the dungeon. And there is one optional which gives you more damage on each hit you're doing. But the fact it's so far away from the any percent route doesn't make it worth it to go for it. Okay, it shot pretty late, that's cool. This room is not too bad compared to the previous one. There is only one part which can be annoying sometimes. But I've done it on first try, on practiced on the resting session earlier, so I hope it will be fine. It's here basically. I think it's okay now. And yeah. Oh, that was very close. I almost failed it, actually. That was pretty scary. Surprisingly, this is the last room of this dungeon before the boss, and this is the easiest one. Okay, I didn't do it right, but at least I killed the enemy. You can go on the platform without having to go downward. Those moving platforms which move upward, they can give you some vertical momentum, and something you need to know is that it's not precise at all. You can wait like half a second before doing the jump and you will still get the vertical acceleration. I didn't need it here. This part in casual, I think it was pretty scary to do, but in the run is honestly not bad at all. I've messed up a bit here, but that's not bad. So there will be the first boss here, which is by far the easiest one. You just have to do one thing and it will be done. You won't have any issue at all. By the way, it will fire some laser and it might be a little bit loud for some reason. So just be warned. Okay, I'm missing my combo. But basically, if you're going in this side here, you're not gonna be bothered by the lasers attack. Okay, I'm messing it up a bit. It's not supposed to be an issue at all. Yeah, my controller is being pretty annoying with the aerial combos, so maybe it's messing up with it. Okay, I got an okay drop here. When the bosses are dropping the orb, you have to destroy it and then it will drop an item you need to collect. But it can be random, and on this room specifically, it can be dropped on the upper platform, and that's very annoying, to be honest, when it happens, because you have to go for it and you are losing few seconds, which is really not necessary. So now that we have the double jump, I can go to the second part of the game, which is here. And then I will have to go to do a pretty short section to go to the second dungeon, which is the clock tower. Obviously, because it's inspired by Castlevania, it it has to be a clock tower. I'm doing some damage boost here because it's faster than killing the I don't know how to call them, mermaid. I think it's a name in Castlevania, something like this. Something I should say about the game. That's one of my favorite games I've played in 2022, even though it was released last year. And one of my favorite things about this game are the musics. I actually love them. There are some pretty surprisingly atmospheric themes like this one, but I don't know, there's something about them that I really love. So yeah, this part is pretty easy. Okay, I've messed that up. That's not bad. I'm gonna get... Yeah, by the way, the moon totem you see in the game, there are checkpoints and they are giving you your health back. I forgot to say that. And if you die at some point, you will go back to the totem. Oh, really? I took this hit for some reason. Okay, I'm gonna play... I wanted to play safe, but seems like the game didn't want to cooperate. I died once on this screen, so I really hope it won't happen again. Okay, I think it should be fine now. Yeah. Even though I took a lot of damage. Compared to usual, that's fine. So here is the clock tower, which is surprisingly easier than the previous dungeon. There is only one part which can be tricky sometimes for me. And you're gonna see at some point a very cool upgrade. Okay, that was embarrassing. You can do some cool skip like this in this level, and this is pretty cool. Okay, I've done this one on first try here. That's very cool. This is pretty precise to do. By the way, another pretty cool theme. I don't know if I will have much to say on the first part of this dungeon, so that might be a good part for donations. There will be others in the run, especially one which is pretty notorious to be a very long sequence where you can't do anything. even though the level, I mean, the game is pretty slow paced compared to other speedrun, for some reason I really like optimizing the movement in the game, and I think there are some missing things still for now. This is why I would love to see more people coming in the current speedrunning community of this game, which is uh, full of one person, which is me. Maybe there are some glitches somewhere. I think I've found some of them at some point. So here is the most important upgrade of the game. It's the dash, and you will see that obviously I'm gonna use it a ton. It will make the... Please? That was a glitch, for instance. It will make the game way more fast-paced, even though it's not like something like, I don't know, I have no idea, like Mega Man X, for instance, even though it's not a Metroidvania, I know. But still, it makes it even more satisfying. So I'm gonna spam this a lot. Of course. I really hate those little square here, because the rhythm is surprisingly fast, and for real, it gives me trouble sometimes. It really depends on the rounds, but sometimes I'm just not having it. Of course, if it's a Castlevania inspired game, it has to get some Medusa heads type of enemies, like those ones, which are, I don't know, they're looking like skulls, but they are pretty weird at the same time. And I think this is the last room of the game, which can be tricky sometimes, but I can skip a lot of things if I'm doing fine. Nailed it. Wow, that was pretty cool. This is the second boss, and this boss is pretty stressing because if I fell from the platform, I have to do it all over again, even though I'm whatever part of my HP bar. So this is a Time Lord, and you will see very quickly the gimmick of the fight. The first phase is not that bad, but the second phase can be a huge issue because you will see something appearing pretty soon. This thing, and this thing is pretty bad. Okay, I think I should be fine. It wasn't the best fight, but at least I didn't have to restart it. There we go. Some funny thing about this boss, if you fell during the boss fight, um, as I said, we'll have to restart it all over again. But if you do it, I think it's 4 times. You can try it at home if you try to play this game. There will be a little Easter egg, and it was actually very funny. Little hint is actually a quote from a Marvel movie, even though I'm not even watching Marvel movies at all. But I know this scene thanks to Firespeeder, who shared this on Twitter at some point. And when I saw this Easter egg, I laughed so badly. By the way, something about the game I should talk about. Like I talked about the music, which I love. Maybe the lowest point of the game, or the dialogues. They try to make some funny dialogues, but for me it really doesn't work in this game. Like the humor which is used is not working well. There is some exceptions though, like as I said, the Easter egg is pretty funny. Oh my god, this part can be annoying. There we go. There are also the discussion with the cats in the village, which are pretty cute. I mean, there is only one cat, sorry. And the last dialogue of the game with the Kingfisher that I will talk about at the end of the run, it's also pretty special. So you saw me since the beginning of this part of the run that I'm eating some red orbs, and they are allowing me to move up to add some jumps to my movements. Basically, this is using the same mechanic as when you're hitting enemies in the air, but it's basically an item made for this specific reason, and it gives some pretty interesting level design ideas. This mini boss is pointless. You don't even need to worry about your HP most of the time. You just need to hit it as much as possible. Okay, it was a bit scary at some point, but there we go. We are done with this mini boss. By the way, you saw some cannon ball at some point, and there was the guy who shot them. Here is the falling session. You are falling into the underworld, and this is the best time for donation because it's going for like 40 seconds, I think. So you can at least do 2 donation, I would say, during this part, and it's genuinely unsettling how far you are going down. And the atmosphere is also pretty special to me. And then is the scariest part of the run by far for me, because you will have to take care of few enemies, and if I'm doing any major mistake during this part, I'm gonna be surrounded by a lot of enemies, especially those crystal-like enemies, which are very tanky. Okay, I guess this works. Also, I have to jump above those little undead enemies because it will take too much time to kill them. There you go. The scary part is done. But I swear if I mess that up, I can be surrounded by 3 crystals, and this is absolutely awful. And those enemies in green are really not helping you. This is the final dungeon before the end of the game. I mean, before the real final dungeon, which is called the Complex, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there we go. And there will be some pretty interesting platforming section, which can be pretty challenging sometimes, especially at the end. So I have to be very careful, especially on this first section, because if I fail anything, I can go back to the very beginning of the room, and obviously you don't want that to happen. Okay. Okay. Game. That was weird. I think there was an issue with the hitbox of the platform or something like this. I can't explain it. The only real hard part of this first part of the dungeon is the first room. The rest is pretty easy, but it will really change at some point. Okay, I'm taking this hit. This is not too bad. I'm gonna have a checkpoint pretty soon. here, to be precise. This is the last room before the next upgrade, which will be the teleport upgrade. So basically, before this upgrade, you won't be able to teleport at any point of the map. You have to travel by yourself, which means that before getting this upgrade, you cannot go back to the beginning of the game after falling into the underworld. So at some point I thought I was just stuck, but you actually have to get this upgrade. And basically you can teleport to any sign you find in the game. And you don't, as I said at the beginning of the run, you don't even need the... Wow, that's something that never happened before. Okay. I just saw the map for some reason here, I don't know why. So yeah, what I wanted to say is that you can teleport to any sign, but you don't even need the map of the guide to teleport, so that's pretty funny. I had to do a run test of this to see if you had to get the map or not, but actually you don't need it, so that's pretty cool. This is the other part of the dungeon, of the complex. You have to do some pretty tricky jumping section. Okay, that was not really not good at all. I really missed it for no reason. That's not even the real hard part. Oh, really? I mean, I had to mess something badly at some point. So far, the run went pretty well, so I guess this is where I'm failing everything. There we go. Here is a checkpoint. I forgot about that. I'm gonna actually exit and restart to the checkpoint here. I just forgot that you needed to do a dash here. I did it, I think, on the run before. I did it in a different way. So I didn't add a good cycle for this platform, sadly. The UFO thing is back. Okay, it was not too bad here. Here I have to hit this enemy to go upward on this platform. I have no other choice. You can't skip it. Third boss, which is False Custodian, I mean. And on this boss fight, I will have to do a very precise sequence. You will see it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Avoid this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Go on the right. Double jump. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. When the screen is shaking like this, you cannot move. This is why I'm doing the double jump pretty early. So this was basically a perfect fight. I can't do better with my current strategies. So now I'm going back to the little hidden place with the sign where I was before. So I'm gonna be able to teleport to the forest. If I'm not mistaken, and I did this again. You're supposed to press Y and not up. The guide is actually pretty cool. character, but sadly we are not talking to him during the entire run. And so now, since we collected every boss item so far, we can go to the castle of the Kingfisher, which is the last dungeon. You have this little sequence before. Oh, that was bad. Okay, at least I did this jump, which is pretty cool. And this dungeon is my favorite one by far, because of this. This music is incredible for me. It really represents the tormented situation of the Kingfisher, and this is so good. This music is so good. I'm gonna do... Okay, that was safer than what I'm supposed to do most of the time. Because this next part is pretty scary. This dungeon is surprisingly easy compared to the other one, but it can be scary because at the beginning you're taking a lot of damage boost. I didn't take the full damage boost here. And then there is this part with the flying enemies you can't see very well because of this weird effect on this level. Oh, that was weird, okay. So it can be very scary. Like on the previous run, I was on one hit away to be dead. Okay. Okay, the game really didn't want it to allow me to jump. By the way, I got a goal split on the previous segment, and I think I know why. For some reason, on the previous run, I couldn't teleport to the forest, and I had to do this little section on the forest again. I just realized that. I think this is a real goal split, even though it's very... it's a huge goal split. I don't know what happened for... I don't know if it's a glitch I used to have, but never mind. This is not important. We are close to the final battle. Oops. And every time, like at the beginning, I mean at the end of the run, every time I'm realizing that I can actually dash in the staircases. Every time. This is really not natural for me to do it, but never mind. So here is the final battle with the Kingfisher. I mean, not really the final battle, you will see. And basically, he's not talking too much. And it's looking like a Dracula fight in a Castlevania game. The strategy for this fight is to dash in the air and then do an attack. You can do this circular attack this way, so you can reach him in the air. Otherwise, you will have to wait for him to go on the ground. And when you see this glitch animation and in the air, it's very good. Because I will be able to hit him, I think, 4 times. Very go. So that's very good when it happens. Getting 2 hits in the air per cycle is great. The best I ever had is 3 hits, but I only had it once during my experience with this speedrun. So yeah, it's very tricky to get it. This is, by the way, maybe the hardest part of the game because it's pretty long. You have to do a lot of movements, be very precise with everything, and if you take too much hits, it can be very stressing. But I think now I'm used to this fight and it should be okay. I've took just few hits and it's not too bad yet. Even the second phase is not even an issue. There we go. got this animation again. It's supposed to do it on the ground, but for some reason, when I'm hitting him enough in the air, it's doing it in the air, and this is great basically. Okay, I hit this for no reason. Please. Hitting him in the air can be very tricky sometimes. I can do this for instance. Also, the music is really cool. Oh, that was a mistake. I need to be careful now because I'm at low HP. Yeah, but I'm gonna beat him. There we go. And you can think that it's over now, but it's actually not. Because now we are diving into his mental area, I would say, in some way. And we need to beat this boss. Basically, this whole part is representing his torments. And this boss can be an issue sometimes because you want him to do this attack on the ground, this smashing attack, and this is basically RNG when he will want to use it. So I'm moving forward to him. I didn't do the optimal thing. The best thing you can do every time is smashing the ground. He's doing 7 hits, but as I said, with my issues with my controller, is pretty hard to do. Second phase will be much harder. Okay, I'm pretty lucky because he did the smash attack very early, but you will see that he has another attack and it's this one, and you really don't want to see it too much. That's very unfortunate. I'm really trying to trigger any possible action from him. My controller is really not helping me to this fight. Come on. It seems like the timing is not the same every time to do this combo. You can let the button press for the attacks. There we go. 1, 2, 3. I almost did the perfect combo. The best thing to do on this part is to get on the second platform. If you get on the first one, you will get it. Oh, come on. That's so annoying. Give me good RNG now. I need to end this fight soon because I don't have much. That was a missing animation, but we are done with the boss fight, and now basically we're even deeper in the Kingfisher Mind. This little sequence is basically not an issue. You just have to find your way in this labyrinth. Okay, Simona is doing some very weird things with her movements, but never mind. This can also be a good time for donations because there are not many things to say. Oops, it went the wrong way. It's here. Come on. Then you have this last platforming section. It's better to go on the left. It's much shorter and it's even faster than the right path. I'm gonna hit the Earth of Darkness here 3 times. 3 times, there we go. And the time we stop when I will be talking to the Kingfisher. Okay, there was a weird dash. Never mind. There we go. So this is the end of the run, and to explain basically, so now Simona is talking to uh, the Kingfisher and basically explain that he didn't want it that to happen. Basically, he was not feeling well. He created this place, but it went in a wrong way, and basically he couldn't do anything, and he couldn't escape by himself, and he just abandoned his kingdom. But the good thing is that while sharing his story, Simona will decide that he deserves a second chance to redeem himself, and he will spare him and not take his soul. So that's actually a good ending for the Kingfisher. And so he will have a chance to take care of his kingdom like it's supposed to do. I'm not gonna let the entire ending sequence playing because it's a bit long, but what I can explain at the end is that there is one last little sequence, one last dialogue with your boss. You know, the floating skulls, and basically he wants you to know what happened, and Simona is telling that uh, she didn't get the soul of the Kingfisher, and obviously her boss is pretty mad at this, but for some reason uh, uh, it decided to not punish her and give her one true last chance with one of her job, and we don't know what it is. Maybe it will be in a sequel. I would love to see that, to be honest, because this game was pretty great as a speedrun, as a casual experience, as I said. Yeah, and of course, at the end, you see the castle being destroyed, like in a Castlevania game, and you can talk to the cat too. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Uh, this was actually pretty intense for me to comment everything, but I think the run went pretty well overall. The only downside is that my controller wasn't working well for the aerial combos. I hope I will find a way to solve this issue, but overall, sub 40 minutes is great. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I will be able to run this at marathon because I think it deserves it. And see you soon for more obscure indie game speedruns. Bye.